Hey, this is Carlos. Welcome back to the 6 Guys You Shouldn't Date, Part 2, or as we like to say in Italy, Part 2. Look, last week we covered Part 1 of this list, and you do need to go back and reference that because I'm going to give you the last of them in this particular video. But we're also going to cover the kind of guy you should be dating. So yeah, stick around. This is going to get good. Okay, the 4th guy that you want to stay away from is Name Dropper Ned. Now, this dude is pretty much the opposite of Shady Steve. Not only does he want to share every detail of his life with you, he's going to make sure you know just how awesome his life is every day. Yes, everything is awesome. I'm not saying guys don't show off to some degree to impress a girl, but any reasonable guy is going to do his best to convince you of his social worth, right? I mean, most guys are going to probably, though, keep it subtle and a little less in your face. If he's constantly telling you about the cool stuff he does, how badass he is, or how great his job is, how much he makes, the important people he knows and he's friends with, well, it's time to take a good, long, hard look at this guy. In a lot of ways, Name Dropper Ned is hungry for validation. He's going to go overboard to get it from you. Sure, he might look great and he might have a happening life, but maybe having an unreasonably large ego could also be a sign of narcissistic personality disorder and a serious black hole in his self-esteem that will only suck you in. Just watch him, see if he likes judging other people or if he generally talks down or talks trash about other people. Narcissists like to feel superior to other people, so they're going to go out of their way to tear down and criticize just about everybody in their path. And of course, they are also most easily rattled by criticism themselves. So a little bit of a harmless tease and this guy could be sent running into the hills. Try disagreeing with him, see how he responds to it, see how he reacts. If he handles it well, maybe you misread him, but otherwise, it's a warning sign. Okay, undateable dude number 5 is the player. Now, you know this guy, right? You should by now. Does he seem a little bit too smooth? Does he have an unusually large amount of confidence? Is he quick to chat you up and get your number in 3 minutes flat, like he's got to get on to the next girl? It's not necessarily a bad thing if he seems like he's a little polished, but it could also spell trouble. If he's doing it like it's his job, well, he might be a master at flattery. But watch out if there's an undercurrent of insincerity. If this guy knows barely anything about you, but he's lavishing you with praise, or he's flattering you, trying to tell you maybe what you want to hear, well, by preemptively flattering you right away, he'll get your validation in return. So it's pretty much about his needs rather than your own. And the need that he's most interested in fulfilling is making you another notch on his headboard, or wherever else. If you want to be sure you're dealing with a player, well, there's a couple of red flags you can watch out for. First of all, he's flaky. He can't commit to plans he's made with you. It always seems like he's juggling multiple women. He calls you at an ungodly hour just to see if you're going to hang out with him. When he does make plans, he never cares if it's a good time for you. And he keeps his phone locked and guarded at all times. If he shows these warning signals, he could be one of those what's in it for me kind of guys. Guy number 6 is the slacker. Now, slacker is the polar opposite of corporate Carl, right? The workaholic. If your workaholic has no time for a girl, well, then the slacker has way too much time for you. But in spite of the incredible amount of time he has, he can't seem to get his life on track or take care of himself. You're going to hear every excuse in the book when you ask him about his goals because he just doesn't have any. A guy who's allergic to taking responsibility for the basic things in life isn't ready to be in a relationship with you. Pretty soon, the slacker is going to start taking you for granted. The longer you stay stuck in this cycle, the longer you stay with him, the harder it is to get out. So just play it cautious with this guy who's maybe looking to mooch. And look at his friends. Does he hang out with other guys who don't have much ambition or anything else to do? It's probably an important clue that will tell you exactly where he's headed in the very near future. Always consider his lack of ambition or his ambition level before you start dating him. These are things that if you overlook at the start will always come back to haunt you later. Okay, now that we've covered the guys you need to stop dating, I want you to, think about something more important here. And this is a little bonus from me to you. I want you to avoid certain types of guys, yeah, but you should also be on the lookout for the kind of guys you should be dating. And there's 2 big indicators that I want you to watch out for. The first thing is being positive. Really, just being on a positive attitude, a positive, upbeat, move forward kind of attitude is a good thing. See, unlike Triggered Tim, this positive guy doesn't crumble at the first sign of adversity. If the movie starts late or your dinner reservations got messed up, he can handle it. He can handle the curveball basically like a grown-up. You need a guy who feels good about himself in life and will make you feel good even when the world seems to be crumbling around you. A positive sentiment in a relationship means it's going to have that much more momentum. It's going to last way much longer than one that's filled with fear or contempt. And the second type of guy is find a guy with sincerity. This is a guy who truly and really does care. He's got a caring heart. He's a caring guy. If he wants you to know about the people from the closer circles in his life, take note. He'll introduce you to his family or his best buddies because he genuinely wants you to be a part of it. Another good sign is that if he makes a mental note of the everyday stuff that you mention to him in conversation. If he keeps track of that stuff, that's good. That means he's looking for ways to make you happy based on what he knows about you. Like on your last date, you said you were into Indian food, and he remembers to take you to an Indian restaurant since that's a preference of yours. These are all good things, right? And he'll extend that attitude towards the other parts of your life, like your favorite movies, the places you hang out, and all that other personal stuff. But if you're worried that you might be dating one of these guys, or that the 6 guys that you should be avoiding, and you're not finding enough of those 2 guys you should be looking for, don't panic. You can still make it work if you know his connection code. You see, all guys have their very unique way of connecting with a woman and with you. And if you figure this out, which is actually very simple to do, you figure out his code, then you're going to have what it takes to create a beautiful and lasting relationship with him, and he will fall for you. If you want to learn more about that, go on over to watch my little presentation on this. It's a free presentation. Go watch it now. Go on over to datingadviceguru.com/connection code. That's datingadviceguru.com/connection code. I'll be talking again next time. This is Carlos Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com.